That's awesome. So as we're creating content for today, so how would someone, like if we pull a slide up for creating your content, let's cover a couple of the points in this segment that you've got here. Conversation, it's conversations, phone calls, and then FAQ and SAQ. What are you talking about?
One of the things I like to tell people is we are always creating content of some sort. What this is about is capturing your content. I mean, you and I are talking here. We're having a discussion. This isn't scripted. And as we're talking, we're creating content. And we're going to use that content in various ways. We'll have a video. We can create blogs with it. We can create articles from it. This isn't the only thing. You don't have to have a television show to create content. Take something really simple like a telephone conversation. When you're in business, a lot of times you get a phone call and somebody will ask you, well, how do I handle this problem? What do I do with this? If you were thinking in advance, or if you were to just stop and say, well, hold on a second, why don't you let me record this, and then if you want to review it later, you can. If you're thinking in advance and you have a way to do it in advance and you record those conversations, sometimes people create such quality content. When someone's asking you questions, and I've noticed it, when someone's interviewing me, I come up with better ideas, better analogies, better metaphors than if I were just sitting and thinking and trying to write something down. So when you're on a telephone conversation, and you can do that with something like freeconferencecall.com. Just say when you have an appointment to call someone, just say, well, call on this line, and then you'll be able to turn it on, record it, capture that, and you have that information that you can later transcribe it. You can put it in, down here there's two things, FAQs and SAQs. FAQs most people are familiar with on the internet. People want to know what are the most frequently asked questions that you get. Well, you need to keep track of that. You can keep track of it in emails. People send you emails asking you various questions. Well, collect those. But there's also something listed down there called SAQs, which stands for should ask questions. We all have the same people ask us questions over and over, but there's some things that in the back of our mind we know that, hey, they ought to be asking me this. It doesn't really matter maybe what the price is. What does matter is what do you get for it. And there's certain things that are should ask questions. And if a person sits down and records those, that's valuable content.
Oh, and so often, I mean, like several times, I get questions on, I'm the host of the Business Spotlight. That's how we connected, and that's what we created this show to sub in once a month as a way of adding value to the community that's already watching the Business Spotlight. And well, one of the things that always happens is people will say, "Who's your audience?" And I go, "Wrong way to ask the question." I'm like, "What?" And I go, "It's what keywords do you want to own?" Right? Because when you're creating content, which is what we're doing, it's then being used to be distributed in many different forms. I know that I love your idea of the phone call, recording that, because like there have been many times when I've literally sat there and I'll be on a call with somebody, I'll go, oh my God, they're dropping too many 9-pound pearls, hold on a second, and I'll go over to, I use Audio Acrobat, and just start a call, record it. We're out of time for this segment, and I will tell you, you're going to enjoy the next few because we're going to go further into this concept of monetizing your mind with creating the content. We'll be right back.
You can become a published author. Discover a system that will lead you from idea to having your book on the bookshelves. Bob Baer pulls back the curtain at the More Power to Publish workshop. Watch and learn how to follow the step-by-step plan to turn your idea into a published book. Learn more at morepowertopublish.com.